over the cold reads, we're just going to go ahead and move on afterwards. Yes, you just got a notification that this is being live streamed. We do record these on YouTube. They're not monetized. These are only up to record the kinds of conversations that we've had and the information that's shared. So it's just a record. If something was, if there was something key that we communicated, that we talked about or went over or anything like that, that you really wanted to go over again, we do have a record of it that you can look up on our website, there on our YouTube channel. Just go ahead and look up the Mic Check VO workout, and it'll take you right there.
And sometimes it helps to be able to go back and listen to your own performance before listening to people's critiques of it.
Yeah, for sure. Would you mind dropping that in the chat?
Let me go ahead and grab that link. I probably should have had that prepped. Excuse me.
Hey, Alicia.
Hey, Justin.
Hey. So
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
So Alicia and I were Voice Master students, so I invited her to come check us out, check out the group.
Okay. Well, hopefully we don't disappoint. But I went ahead and linked our YouTube channel, or the channel to our YouTube, the link to our YouTube channel. Excuse me, long drive back home. Link to our YouTube channel in the chat. But for those of you who are new here, let me go ahead and give you a brief overview before we start up. So the way that it works is the mic check is split up into 3 different sections. Everybody can participate at any point. But if you don't want to for any reason, that's totally fine. Just let us know and we'll make arrangements. But the way that it starts off is it starts with cold reads. So we gave everybody a script. We know that we gave you the link right now, and we know that the reads are not going to be perfect. We're not going for perfection. We just want you to get a cold read out of the way so you have the experience of reading in front of people. And it also creates a reading order for us. After we've gone through the entire reading order, we will then do a discussion portion where we will talk about the script itself, how it's going to be used, techniques to use, choices that you can make along the way, markups, everything like that. We're really going to get into how the script is going to work. And then after that, we're going to go back through the same reading the same reading order that we had before, except everybody else on the mic check is going to be your director and will give you feedback on your reads. So we're going to attempt in some way to hit the directions that we can, or the prompts that we can pull from the script itself. So the script analysis is kind of a key portion that makes us a little bit different from most others, because I know that a lot of other places, they'll just have you read and then just straight up give you feedback on stuff. So we like to focus in on really having a goal for the reads and really breaking these down. On top of that, a lot of the feedback that you're going to get is going to be very honest and very direct. It's not meant to break you down. We want to give you the best read possible. And unlike many other places, we're not just going to pat you on the head. You got to earn it. So with that being said, the link is once again to the script is again in the chat window. So go ahead and open that up. And do we have any volunteers to go first? Oh yeah, I should have mentioned that. So the first person is going to be a volunteer, but everybody who reads gets to choose who goes after them. Okay. So it's going to be
okay. Then I definitely want to go first.
Okay, well,
then, I was already going to say I'll go first because why not? But now there's
there you go. You have a reason. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and move you over there. And since Nathan seems to have stepped out of the booth, I'll go ahead and do a quick intro. Oh, he's back. Nathan, do you want to do the intro or should I?
Yes, let's hope everything keeps working. For some reason, this machine is starting to misbehave, something fierce. And so, did everybody just freeze?
No, we're good.
I'm still moving.
One moment.
I see other people moving.
Well, you have a little bit of extra time to review the script if you need to.
That's fine. Yeah, this is the authoritative documentary one, right? Or
this is a documentary style read.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, I know. As voice actors, they seem to be the hardest thing that we ever do, is getting them out.
Yes. I mean, I remember one time I was I could go on a tangent for a few moments while Nathan gets
that's fine.
In order. But I was over at my neighbor's house for one of my first voiceover projects for his Lego stop motions.
Mm-hmm.
And I just off the cuff just said like, ah, yes, voiceovers, a job where you get paid to make random and nonsensical sounds come out of your mouth. Like you get paid to just make weird noises. And now that's just
Yeah.
become a recurring joke. I am the guy
Uh,
that said voice acting. You get to make weird and sometimes nonsensical noises come out of your mouth and you get paid for it. That's me. So
I
yay.
think my favorite description of voice acting came from John DiMaggio as Bender from Futurama. You can be lazy and work at the exact same time, just like being a cartoon voice actor.
I love that. I love that. That's
So,
great.
Nathan, should I do the intro for us? Earth to Nathan?
He's frozen for me, so
Michael?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm having some serious technical issues that I am not figuring out because it locked up on me just as I was about to do the intro. So I'm handing the hosting to you just in case anything else happens.
Okay.
We're still streaming. I don't know how Zoom
Thankfully.
is keeping it up, but it's still streaming.
Zoom is a great platform. So then
So-
do you want me to do the intro or do you want to do it?
I think I may have just got it under control. So I'm not exactly sure what the deal is. I may have to reboot my modem after I get done with this, or my router. My camera's off. Okay.
Hey, Mike, it's Dave. How you doing? I'm just gonna observe today. I'm at work.
No problem.
Okay. Well, you can't see my face, but you
Good
can hear
seeing
my
you guys.
voice,
You look
and so
great.
I will do the intro now. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Mic Check. Yes, I am the wonderful, lovely voice behind the Mic Check tonight. And that's, hey, it's about voice acting. So why should you see my face? Anyway, without any further ado, let's get this party started. Take it away. Who's going to take this first?
Our first reader is going to be Will. And Nathan, we can see you.
You can see me.
Yes, can.
I can't see me. I've got to figure out what's going on with my cameras.
Well,
I
yeah,
can't see
I
Nathan.
can't see Nathan.
Will,
so.
go ahead and give us a read.
Okay. Warning. The real life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salita, self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. And his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
You have your choice of whoever you want to go next, Will.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Okay, let's see. Participants.
Everyone except for Dave.
Of course I can't choose Dave. Justin, why don't you go next?
Okay. Oh, shoot. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Warning, the real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salita, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner, and his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution because when the stories are real, the effect is actual. Alicia.
Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salita, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. And his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So, watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual. Mateo.
No, we can't hear you. We can read the lips, though. Shame. Nope. Should we skip for now? Okay. So Alicia, go ahead and choose anybody else but Mateo for right now.
Cheyenne.
Alright. Warning, the real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey, Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. And his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual. Lennart?
Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. And his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual. Nathan.
Nathan, you good?
Yeah, I think so. Still working out some bugs, but hey, I still got the script in front of me, so I'm okay. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey, Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner, and his insistence on picture-in-picture in the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual. Alicia.
Alicia
I
has
already
already gone.
went.
So
Okay,
the only
I'm so
ones that
sorry.
That's
the ones
all
that
right.
haven't gone yet are myself, Rob, Vincent, and Mateo. But Mateo is currently having some technical difficulties.
Him too, huh? Well, you yourself, Michael.
Okay. I guess it's just one of those Mondays, huh?
Yes.
Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. And his insistence on picture-in-picture in the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual. Rob. Rob, you there? Okay. Vincent.
All right, I'm ready now.
All right, go ahead and give us a read whenever you're ready.
Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. And his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effects is actual.
Okay, Rob, are you there? Mateo, have you fixed your technical issues? Okay, we'll go ahead and keep them in the wings for right now. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So because we have some new people in, I can't just use our normal shorthand for things. So I'll describe what we use. So scripts generally fall within two categories of microphone technique, and that's voiceover and voice under. Voiceover is when your voice is generally considered the center of attention. Usually it's either audio only, or it's some sort of animation work, whether that is video games or dubbing, like ADR, and that's live action, or in anime, and other things that are similar to that, where voice under is shortcut to denote when you are trying to play to images on screen, trying to get people to see something and direct their attention that direction. So with that in mind, what category would this particular script fall under? What does it look like?
I would say
Document-
voice under.
Okay. Vincent?
I was just about to say documentary.
Okay. But is that voice under or voiceover?
I believe it's voiceover.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other thoughts? Agree with Will? Disagree with Will?
I think it's voice under.
Yeah, definitely. One of the ways that you can tell is that there is not enough description. There's not enough descriptive terminology within the script itself to lend it standing on its own. For instance, this is full of referential jokes. This can affect his bedside manner, has led to some unfortunate mishaps. When the stories are real, the effect is actual. Like, those are going to be cuts to scenes of this doctor clearly blundering through his day and causing some major issues because he's distracted by watching True TV. So I would say yes, voice under. So what typifies voice under generally when it comes to mic technique, we're not going to critique on that too much right now, but it's a good thing to keep in mind, is you don't want to be full force right on the microphone. That's usually voiceover stuff. Voice under, you kind of want to pull back or drop your volume a little bit and direct people's attention to what's going on. You aren't the center of attention. You are directing their attention to what's happening in front of them. You are the voice over their shoulder. So that's generally the concept. But let's go ahead and actually talk about the script itself. So when you think of an authoritative voice, a documentary style, what are some performances or what are some descriptions that you can use to typify that sound? What are some things that come to mind when it comes to that?
I'd say maybe something like not necessarily like a deeper voice, but something that really catches your attention. Something that's not something it stands out.
Okay.
So, like, trying to think of an example that works here. Something like maybe like David Attenborough.
Okay. Anybody else?
Well, I mean, it gives that with that warning, it almost feels like, I don't know. how can I describe it? I wouldn't be David Attenborough. Something more along the lines of this could kill you if you keep doing it kind of warning. It has that kind of gravitas to it, just like, warning. If you keep smoking those things, they'll make your head explode. Something like that, sort of thing.
Like a
Okay. Yes.
public-
Yeah.
like
Keep
a
dynamite
public
out of your mouth.
service, a public service announcement or some type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely PSA thing.
I would say it could be a knowing or a confidence. Because I do not have a deep voice. So I have to approach it from a completely different angle.
You have to approach it with the attitude of a deep voice.
Right.
Right.
Which
I
think
don't technically have a deep voice of my own.
Yeah. So again, that's
I-
why I'm thinking it's like a knowing or a confidence or,
Yeah.
trust me, I know what I'm talking about, whether you're doing it straight or tongue in cheek. That's got to have that kind of feeling to it.
Even if it's tongue in cheek, you've got to have that attitude of complete seriousness,
Yeah.
which is what lends to the comedy in this.
Okay. So what are some things that add to that? So you want to sound authoritative. What makes someone sound authoritative?
Like they have like, oh, you can go ahead, Cheyenne.
Oh, I was gonna say like body language when you're saying it, making sure you have an authoritative stance.
Okay.
And like make sure you're grounded, both feet on the ground.
Unless you're sitting, then both cheeks on the seat. um, anything else?
I'd say maybe not necessarily body. This isn't like body language, but in addition to having just like a really authoritative voice, like you need to do what I'm saying right now. You need to sound like you have experience, like at least for me, it would be like you need someone that would need to sound like they have prior experience doing it. And so they're telling you, hey, I've learned from experience, don't do this.
Okay. Okay. I like where this is going. I like where the discussion is going so far. Anything else?
Well, since body language was brought up, to state the obvious, doing that, given that it's voiceover, nobody's going to see your body language, but they will hear your body language. So while you're performing, make a point of actually doing whatever gestures indicate the body language you have in mind.
Right.
I remember one of the things that first got me into voiceover was one of the behind the scenes videos for Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And one of the voice actors, Matt Lanter, whenever his character was talking on a comlink that's on his wrist, he would actually hold his wrist up like this. And if he was pressing buttons in the ship, he would be pressing buttons up here and down here, stuff like that. And I was like, oh,
absolutely.
That's cool.
Look, we've had so many discussions recently about how your body and what you do with it makes such a huge difference with your overall performance. So thank you, Cheyenne, for pointing that out. You're above me, so I'm going to point up. Thank you for pointing that out, because that is absolutely one of the most key important things to your performance. But more so, but similarly to that, your mindset needs to be in the right place. We were touching on it a little bit. And yes, not everybody's going to have the right voice, specifically the right voice print for this, which we're not even worried about here. That's entirely irrelevant. What's more important is the attitude that you espouse. Generally, when someone is authoritative, they have things like confidence. They deliver things confidently. They deliver them directly. They deliver them slow and methodically. Not like super slow, but you don't need to blast through the script. It needs to be a really careful delivery. You're very direct about what's going on. And yes, this is full of a lot of referential and excuse me, a lot of referential and indirect humor, but the more of that authoritative or confident and direct mindset that you have, the funnier the piece is going to be altogether. So don't play up the joke, play your character more so than anything else. That's really going to help these really stand out. So
You know what makes me think of? Joe Friday on Dragnet. And
Mhm.
everybody younger than me said, "Who's that?" But
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
that same kind of delivery for anybody who knows who Joe Friday is.
Yeah,
Can't
there
say
a
that I
couple
do.
of us were really going for that totally flat delivery too. It just felt like the right way to go for me, but it's not the only way to go.
I mean, totally flat could work, but you still need to reference the things that need referencing. So you can't just blast through things like have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. Physical and emotional is part of the story. It's part of what you're referencing from there on out. So there are a few points in the script that do require that kind of referencing and that kind of I would say lift. I wouldn't say emphasis because you know we don't want you to get like super crazy on the emphasis, but definitely it definitely requires a little something extra from you, and that's things like unfortunate mishaps. The effect is actual.
I was
Affect his
visualizing the
bedside
mayhem
manner.
guy.
The mayhem guy, yes, that's a good one. That's actually a really good one. So make sure that we see what you see. That's the most important part. Communicate what it is that you're seeing in the scene to us. If you're seeing him maybe like stumbling over while he's doing something because his head is just, you know, way up over there and he's walking into like, I don't know, the patient's legs and just flipping on over the front of them, you know, reference that, but obviously don't play up the joke like we mentioned before. But the rest of it is going to really solidly come from your own mindset, which again should be confident. It should be direct. That's what the authoritative is going to come from. Also, True TV is it's not really stated here, but it's very heavily implied that it is like a crime, you know, true crime thing. So think about the kinds of deliveries and the kinds of performances that usually go along with those. They tend to be pretty serious. They tend to be pretty direct. They don't they're not they are overly theatrical, but on the opposite end of the spectrum, if that makes any sense. Like you don't want to go hyper theatrical, but you want to go serious theatrical. Again, I'm just a human. If the words don't make sense, please tell me or offer suggestions. I'm very open to that. But I think we've got a decent idea of who we need to be and what we need to do. Does anybody have any questions, comments, anything like that about the script before we move into the directed reads? Okay.
Rob, Mateo.
Well, Rob unfortunately had to leave due to some personal issues. But Mateo, are you there? I'm sure he is, but we can't hear him. If you do happen to drop out, Mateo, you still have your place. So, well, anyway, I guess if there's nothing else, let's go ahead and jump into the directed sessions. Now, a couple of rules to preface this. We have two major rules that you cannot break while we do these. They are called the Dan rule and the Nephilim rule. These are named after old attendees that we used to have. So the Dan rule is if you are the performer, you are not allowed to critique your own performance, period. We want you focused solely on how you perform versus how good or bad you did. It has been shown through many studies that the more somebody goes for excellence versus perfection, the more creative they end up being, and usually the more successful they end up being in something. You're never going to be perfect. Your reads are never going to be perfect because everybody has a different concept of it. So don't try to go for that. You need to focus on your own performance more so than critiquing yourself. So if you are performing, you are not critiquing. The second one, the Nephilim rule, is you do not apologize for your performance, either before or after. This is a practice space. Who cares if you mess up with something? You know, even in an actual recording, nobody's going to care. That's why we have editors. So don't worry about it. So no critiquing yourself while you're performing, no apologizing. Other than that, everything else goes. Will, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Okay, then. Warning. The effective warning. The real life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salita, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner, and his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So, watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody think?
Not bad, but I would direct you a bit differently. I would like you to read it like you're reading the phone book. Well, if you even know what a phone book is anymore these days.
I've heard
So,
of it.
yeah, go for the totally flat read, like almost like you're reading a language that you don't even understand.
So, like monotone?
Yeah, monotone.
Okay.
And that may or may not end up being the final read, but I'm curious to see where you will go if you try monotone, and then we can direct you from there.
Okay. I mean, I could do that right now if you want.
Well, hang on. Let's see
Well,
if
let's see
anybody
if
else has
anyone
any
else
other-
has things to say first.
I was gonna say, I feel like you did a really good job overall. I would like to hear more what I would call like stepping stones on certain words like physical and emotional, addict, and then just maybe slow it down a little bit. It did feel a little bit like you were speeding through it. So just to like add more of the effect.
What do you mean by stepping stones? Like, I'm a music performance major in college right now. So do you mean something like what we would call
s-
grace notes? So like notes that like lead into the actual notes on the page.
So the way it's been described to me is it's like if your sentence is a river, you would want to pick words that would get you across. So and won't get you across the river, but physical and emotional would. So like words that would be describing I don't know what else they would call them, but like words to add effect to it. So instead of being like completely flat, I don't know if I'm describing it correctly. So like in the last sentence, when the stories are real, the effect is actual instead of when the stories are real, the
Okay.
effect.
I
Okay.
think I get what you're saying.
So just to
Okay.
emphasize the right places.
Yeah.
I think to go along with both of that, I think it was a really good first read, second read, but first read. But I want you to take a little bit more time with the visuals and see where that takes you.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready, give us another read.
Okay. Warning. The real life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salita, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner and his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So, watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Okay, opening it up. How was that one?
I like that one. I thought it was really good.
Oh, you showed that you can take direction. I do have a couple notes on it. You had a tendency to really die at the end of sentences, so watch out for that. And I noticed that you started a little too fast at the beginning, but you seem to have caught that yourself. You slowed down there in the second half to what I figured would be the right pace. So good job on catching that.
Yeah, your performance really begins before you start reading the first word and ends long after the period. Definitely the last period. Definitely make sure that you're carrying your performance all the way through. Yeah, I noticed the starting off too quickly. Are you seeing where the emphasis should go, like in relation to the story? Are you seeing where that's coming up?
Think so. Definitely a lot more than I was.
Okay. So a lot of these lines are actually cause and effect. So they play off of each other. For instance, right after the first introduction, which is that second section, where it ends with insisting on watching True TV in his patient's room, you're directly referencing that. This can affect his bedside manner. So this requires a little bit more there, because you're referencing what you just said prior. And his insistence on so insistence right over there is kind of a little bit more key. And his insistence on picture in picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. Give yourself a little bit of a break just after some there. We're getting a little line ready, I know, but there's just a couple places that I think you could really bump up the referential jokes, the storytelling. So that's one of them. And then in the final, the very final line, go give real and actual more emphasis than anything else, not stories. When the stories are real, the effect is actual.
I'm actually going to disagree with you a bit, Michael, on the pause after the sum before the unfortunate mishaps. You can do it that way, but I don't think it's essential. I think you can, if you're going for the totally flat read, you can just go led to some unfortunate mishaps and have it work.
I think I get what both of you are saying on that, because like I think it works in some situations and it doesn't in others. Like in this case, if you're doing just flat read, then you might not want to do it. But if this is like character in a TV show, he's like reaching for the words. It's like, and his insistence on picture in picture in the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps.
Yeah,
Something
to
like
me
that.
that's and to me that's playing up the comedy a little much. But that's the kind of thing that can really depend completely on the reader. Like what works for me might not work for you, and vice versa.
Okay, then I'll 100% totally fine there. But I still want to hear real versus actual. When the stories are real, the effect is actual. Give both of those a little extra. And then this needs to reference what you said before. It's a continuing story. So go ahead and give us one more read all the way through.
Okay. Slow down. Give a little pause. And this guy. Okay. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salita, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. And his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Okay, opening it up. What did you all think of that one?
What I really liked was for the unfortunate mishaps, you found the perfect middle ground. You did both kind of what Leonard said and what Michael said, and I thought it worked great. I thought it was you, and I liked it. I thought this was I thought this was really good overall. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree that you took the direction really well. One thing that I did notice is it felt kind of very like broken up, like there was like a solid pause, like every few words, which I think was part of the effect of you trying to slow it down, but it kind of just made it a little bit more choppy than smooth.
Yeah, I was actually going to say the same thing. I think for the most part, the emphases that you added were right, and actually, you gave the emphasis I wanted you to. So thank you for that. But the where you decided to put pauses broke it up a little bit too much. I would say in a future read, because we're going to go ahead and move on just to make sure we have time for everybody. In a future read, I would say make sure to, instead of adding extra pauses throughout how you read, just measure your pace. Just that's all you really need to do. You started off on a really good pace, and then you added that first pause, and that really broke up the flow. If you hadn't have paused as much, that would have been it. That would have been a golden read.
I definitely did notice that. I was like, oh heck, I probably don't need to be pausing after like every three
And
words.
that is a violation of the Dan rule, and that is why that's in place.
Oh, shut up.
Because again, no, that's the thing though. What it does is it turns you from actor, from performer to director. And you're no longer performing. You're now just listening to yourself and being like, crap, I messed up there. Hopefully I don't mess up through the rest of it. So
Yeah,
that's why we
For a
have it. It's okay.
future-
I won't nail you too hard to the wall on that one, but
yeah. For a future read, I would also emphasize again, be careful about dying at the end of sentences. So instead of it like, this can affect his bedside manner, that's exaggerated, but
Yeah.
make sure you actually, it's like deliver the word manner there at the end as if there's another word coming after it. And the same in all the other sentences. Some unfortunate mishaps instead of some unfortunate mishaps.
overall, Will, just don't die. Whatever you do,
Yeah.
don't die.
Yeah. But overall, good job.
All right. Moving right along. Justin, you're up.
Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner, and his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Okay, opening it up. What did y'all think? Wondering if anybody has the same feedback I do.
So I think what I want is for you to go maybe 10% slower. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit.
Okay.
But I like what you did. but I think that if you go just a little bit slower, it'll have more, I don't know, more gravitas. It'll have more meaning in what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, going a little bit slower is something that I was thinking too. If you like the pace you're going at, I'd say maybe put like more emphasis on some of the things like picture in picture. Is the way I see it when I'm reading like a script is that if there's like words that are like the first letter in a word is capitalized, but it's not the beginning of a sentence or a name or any of that grammar stuff, and it's something that's like really important or has some deeper meaning to like the description of the setting. So like obviously it's like, just for example, it kind of like explains to the listener, like the picture in picture explains to the listener how he's watching it in the operating room, because obviously you wouldn't like obviously you wouldn't want to just have the entire screen of like vitals machine just taken up by true crime, because then you can't see if someone's flatlining. But you could kind of get around that by having it like minimized to to like the corner or something. So something like that. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I
Ma-
think so.
My overall feedback is try to deliver it like you're being serious and not like you're being overly dramatic. You had a touch of too much drama in there for my tastes.
Okay. Tone down the drama.
Yeah, just be serious. You're talking about a serious topic in a serious manner.
So a
Okay.
bit slower and tone down the drama, up the seriousness. Whenever you're ready.
Tone down the drama, up the seriousness. Okay. All right. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. And his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Now, you've been coming here for a little while, so I'm going to be really granular on this. So I would like to hear you retake just the and his insistence on picture-in-picture. That had a hitch in it that I think you could fix. So go ahead and give me a read of just that.
Just that.
I'll add one more thing. The on the line after that, you went really high on caution. So watch True TV with caution because, and I would keep that flatter. So just a technical note.
Okay, so from and his insistence through to the end. Just go ahead and reread that.
Okay. And his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Okay. Yeah, that was a lot more control. That felt a lot more natural. The thing is I know that starting off from like the middle of the script can be a little bit weird because you're not in the same headspace that you were when you were first delivering it. You got into that delivery that you had before towards the end, but you did start off a little higher in your register and a little elevated in your emotional space, which didn't really fit, but you eventually got into the zone you needed to be in. But yeah, I think one more full read and you'll probably have it. You'll probably be right there. Does anybody else have any other thoughts, insights?
Overall, I think it was really good. I liked how the second time you went through it this time, the whole script, not when you start from the middle, but it applies to the second. I'm rambling. Sorry. But at any rate, I liked how you kind of added a bit more of a pause between like New Jersey and Dr. Scott Salida. So I mean, that was definitely something that stuck out to me. So, but overall, it was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to add, everybody, well, Will, you haven't really done this, but when we're reading through the first time, at because, I feel like just because there's an ellipses there doesn't mean that you have to use it. You can be because when the stories are real, like because you're just you're pausing there and that doesn't feel like it's your natural speech pattern to do that. So a little bit takes me out of the scene.
Oh, interesting. So I should just pretend that ellipsis is not there.
Yeah.
You could either pretend it's not there, or you could still have an ellipsis on the because, but there may be some space between caution and because. So it doesn't have to be going through the whole sentence until you get to the ellipses. If that isn't natural to you, you could, I don't want to do a line reading because I'm going to do this next and we'll see if that works. But you can honor the punctuation and not honor the punctuation at the same time.
I thought you did a good job in the second full read through on sounding more serious instead of dramatic. So good job on that. On the ellipses, my only note would be that when they have a line break there, it probably means that they're shifting from one scene to another, and it naturally needs a bit of a pause while the TV camera shows something different.
Okay, but in my read, did I pause too long between?
Yeah, it didn't register with me as a problem. So I'm saying is you don't want to just plow through with caution, because when the stories are real, that's not going to work.
Yeah, my take is just to make it sound more natural. Like if this was an audition and then when you actually go in for the read and they're directing you, they'll tell you. But I feel like when I'm auditioning, I try to stick with my natural speech pattern so that it comes out correctly, but everybody does things differently.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, well, I'm not sure how to approach it because it seems like I have
just ignore the ellipses. Let's just hear it without the ellipses and see how that goes. So go ahead and give us a full read.
All right. Okay. Warning: the real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in its patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner, and his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Okay, thoughts?
I thought that was really good. Your pauses were more how do I put this? More controlled. They didn't seem too drawn out, but they didn't seem too quick. They forced. I think the word I'm looking for is like forced. They felt natural. They didn't feel like you were putting them in there because you were told to put them in there. They sounded like they were in there because it just felt like, yeah, that's just where a pause would go.
Yeah, I agree. I like this take.
Cool.
I'm
Thank you.
happy.
Well, Justin, you passed the Leonard test. Congratulations.
That's what I strive for.
Well, then let's go ahead and move on, shall we? Alicia, you're
Thank
up.
Okay. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner, and his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Okay, opening it up. What did you all think?
Overall, I think that was a much better take than you did before with the first take.
Well, no. Let's not compare the two. That was a cold read. So yes, it is going to be better.
Um,
Yeah, Justin, that's what I was gonna say. The word
Oh,
doctor.
did I? Okay.
yeah.
I felt like it was a pretty good read. I wasn't looking at you, I was looking at the script, but it felt like you were kind of smiling, trying to maybe add the comedic effect. I don't know if that was intentional, but I kind of liked it for your read. Just because our voices don't match the traditional
Mhm.
authoritative documentary voice. So I liked it.
Thank you.
We'll say
Well,
one thing that's sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I think the biggest thing that stuck out to me was the way you said actual. Something about it just, I don't want to say didn't sound right, but it didn't sound right. Like, forgive me for making a music reference because I'm sure there are people in here who don't understand anything that I'm saying when it comes to music.
I do.
You'd be surprised, my friend.
But
You use your words,
It-
and
it
if we have
feels
a
like an
problem with
unnatural-
them, we'll ask.
It feels like what?
okay. It feels like an unnatural cutoff. Like if you're like building up into something with when the stories are real, the effect is act. When the stories are real, it sounded like you were building up to something and you just didn't.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm not sure how to describe it. But
So like a no
Yeah.
payoff to the
Yeah,
second
ramping
part of
up
the
and
line.
then falling off.
So
Yeah.
was the word you were going to use staccato, Will?
yes.
We
Yeah.
used that before.
We've used that many times before, so don't
Oh,
worry.
yeah. Look, there's a musicality to voiceover, and all of us are familiar with that.
Yeah. Okay.
I had two notes on it. My main note is it sounded like you were really playing up the comedy a little too much. I'd prefer a more serious take.
Okay.
And the second note is more technical. There was a spot where you stumbled.
Yeah.
And when you do have a stumble, just go back to the beginning of the line and read it again.
Sure. Okay.
All right. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and give us another read.
Warning. The real life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. And his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So, watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Okay, I've got a couple of notes. I see what you're trying to do when you emphasize in the operating room. So when you put the emphasis on in, I don't feel that really is working though for the type of read that you're actually delivering. So
Okay.
I would like for you to emphasize operating room. In
Okay.
the operating room, I
Okay.
think that would achieve the same thing that you're going for and really work.
Okay.
And close to the end there. So watch True TV with caution. Give caution a little bit more, because again, you're talking about how True TV has sort of messed this man's day-to-day life up. So you want to emphasize caution a
Okay.
little bit more.
Okay.
But opening it up, what did you all think?
My only note is on the fourth line. I felt like "and" came on a little strong. That's my only note.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. With going off of what I said earlier, with what you said for the last line, that was like just what I had. That's literally what I was thinking of what I was saying.
Okay.
When I was just thinking to myself, what I would imagine if I was hearing this like for real in an actual show or an actual commercial or whatever.
Right.
That was like literally on point, just what I was thinking of, like, yes.
Cool.
You did a really good job with changing the tone to be more serious and less comedic. So good job on taking the directions. My one technical note on this is you had a really long pause there after the so.
Yeah.
So watch True TV with caution. And I would reduce, if not eliminate, that pause.
Okay. I cannot hear you.
I pulled a Richard. Go ahead and give us one more read, and we'll probably move on from there.
Okay. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner, and his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
I'd like to try something before we get any feedback in. Give me a read of that first line, but really hit warning. Like let's hear you really hit that so that we feel that it's a warning. That's the attention grabber.
Okay. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. Do you want me to go on?
No, that's it. Lengthen warning out a little bit more. Be a little bit slower with it.
Okay. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers.
Okay, you're starting to emphasize the latter half of it. I just wanted to hear the emphasis more on warning. The way that you approach that the first paragraph before is good. I just wanted the warning, like really get in there, almost like give it like 2 syllables. Last one, promise.
Warning.
Okay, good, cool. Yeah, no, you gave us good reads before. I just wanted a bigger warning. That's all.
Okay, sure.
Opening it up. Any final thoughts on the read? Thumbs, cool, awesome. All right,
pretty good.
Okay, well then let's go ahead and move on. Cheyenne, is it Cheyenne or Cheyenne? Because I know some people are really. Is it more A or E?
E.
E, Cheyenne. Okay, got it. Well, whenever you're ready, go for it.
All right. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner, and his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Okay, opening it up. What did you all think?
I thought it was really good. I liked how you had some I liked how you added some more natural pauses. I think you definitely had a better like pitch. Like not necessarily better, but better suited for this kind of read. Because it's more like, hey, don't do this. This is a warning. This is not like, hey, you shouldn't do this. Hey, it's don't. So, yeah.
Thank you.
I was thrown off a bit by the warning, the very first word, and it came across to me like it was delivered with a wink and a smile.
Okay. No smiling. Very serious.
For me, on your next read, I like you to end the second sentence on a mid note or a down note, because I think you ended in an up note, which made it sound like a question. Kind of threw it off for me a bit, but otherwise it was a solid read.
Thank you. I don't want to break any rules, but I also heard that.
Cheyenne, have you had a job where you're the manager or you're in charge?
Mhm.
So bring some of that more into what you're reading here.
More authority.
Yeah.
Can do. Do we wait for him to come back?
Well, if there aren't any other comments, I think we can go ahead with another read.
All right, cool. Oh. Are you ready for a second take, Michael?
Yeah. Sorry, I had to
Okay.
step away for a little bit. Yeah, go ahead.
Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. And his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Okay. And what does everybody think of that one?
Yeah, I think that's a lot better. Definitely got that serious vibe this time. Not
Yeah, definitely had a good vibe to it.
I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I really like the way you're saying, like, warning. It sounds. Is anyone familiar with, like, GLaDOS from Portal? It sounds.
Oh, absolutely. Favorite
It
game.
it sounds like almost like,
GLaDOS.
yeah. It sounds to me like an alert over a PA system, but one that's like from like a recorded AI. So it's like warning, warning, warning.
So take that how you will. You sound like an AI.
Cake is a lie.
Okay, that's probably what I meant, but
The performance
I'll
is a
throw my
lie.
cameras off
The
because
performance was great. The cake is a lie.
like is a lie. There's only now. So yeah, and my camera's off right now because it's getting late, so I'm taking out my contacts. I feel like people don't want to see me poking my eyes. So
And
yeah,
yet
that
you
can be
describe it
uncomfortable.
anyway, so we're left with the image in our minds, which might be worse than what we'd
Wow.
really see.
Never fun.
my plan succeeded. My plan was succeed.
So any other comments, feedback, anything like that? Everybody good? Thumbs up? Felt that worked?
Yes.
Okay, then we're moving right along. Leonard, you're up.
Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salita, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner, and his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Okay, what did you all think?
I thought it was a really good take.
Yeah, I think Leonard's cut out for doing spots like this. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
You know,
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know how much you're changing your natural voice for that, but the voice that you did for all those takes tonight, that really sells the warning PSA documentary authoritative kind of tone.
Thank you.
I think overall, I really like that one. The only note that I took was when you said a self-proclaimed TV addict, I felt you ended a bit high. When it went into insist, they almost felt like they were on the same level. I wanted to maybe hear it go down a little bit more. But other than that, that's my only note.
Okay.
So I have one nit to pick,
Thank you.
and it's I'd like for you to differentiate, like, so that last line is kind of like, and the moral of the story is, I'd like for you to really like emphasize the point you're trying to make. When the stories are real, the effect is actual. You kind of you were still really ho hum on that last line. You didn't really
Okay.
give it much to wrap it up with. I liked the flatter delivery at the beginning. I might have more notes for you on the next one, but for this one, I'd like for you to change up the end a little bit, make it more of a, a real cautionary tale. Because again, you're starting off strong. You're starting off with warning.
Okay.
So end it off strong too.
Next read. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salita, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner, and his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual. When the stories are real, the effect is actual. When the stories are real, the effect is actual.
I'm going to personally say I really, really like the A take that you gave there. That first one rolled with the rest of it. I think it really worked. But I'm going to go ahead and open it up. What did everybody think of that one?
yeah, I
Again, the
agree,
same
that
thing.
A take was
Sorry,
good.
go ahead.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, well, I agree. The A take was really good. Now go ahead.
Same stuff I said last time. I think your particular voice really nails this, where, at least speaking for myself, I can try, but I don't think my voice really nails it quite like yours does. So that's really good for you.
It's not the voice, it's the attitude, but thank you.
That too.
So something that you've been doing, which is a note that I've already given before, start warning off stronger.
Okay.
And with this last read, you started off quicker than you did with the previous reads. So,
okay.
So make sure to keep your pace a little slower and more even keeled, so that we can follow along with it. I don't think you need to retake the whole thing, because most of it was really good, and you did give us a really solid ending take. So why not just give us, just reread the first section, just once.
Just the first line? Or
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers.
The warning was still really swallowed.
Okay. Warning. The real-life action of True TV.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah. All right. I'm good. I'm happy. That was it. That was the one thing. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. Moving along. Nathan, you are up.
Yes, and finally passed the technical issues. I just swapped machines and turned the other one off. Boy.
It's the old IT adage. If you try turning it off and turning it back on again.
Yeah, I've been doing that on a regular basis. I'm a broadcaster, folks. It happens to me every day. Anyway, warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey, Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner, and his insistence on picture-in-picture in the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
All right, opening it up. What did you all think of that one?
Okay. Same thing I said for Leonard, but in a completely different way. I think you have a really spot on voice for this, but it's almost for the opposite reason. Like Leonard, you're really able to sell the authoritative, almost monotone voice. But Nathan, you really have a more, I want to say upbeat, but at the same time still really really informed and authoritative. It's authoritative, but in the opposite of what I think people would expect from this kind of script, which is why I think it works really well.
I'm not doing this for myself, but I'm going to give him the word that he's probably thinking of, the dad voice.
Yes. Yes. That is exactly what I was thinking.
The fact that I'm a father of 3 children probably adds to that, but yeah, that's what you were looking for, the dad voice.
Yes, that is literally perfect.
Yeah, well, I played a dad in an animation, and that does lend to it. Anyway, so I will make an adjustment according to what you just told me.
Start off stronger. Warning needs to start off stronger, and you need to slow it down just a little bit. You're moving just a hair too fast.
Okay.
Yeah, the 2 notes I had was slow down and
Nathan.
And less drama, more serious.
It was something I was trying to say earlier when all the technical issues hit me head on, was Joe Friday. That was one thing that came to mind with this script. So, okay. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey, Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner, and his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution. When the stories are real, watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Okay. Good job on the slowing down and on the greater warning. Honestly, because you're just such a naturally animated dude, it wasn't exactly what we talked about, but it still really worked. I liked that read. I thought it would be a really ear-catching read. What do you all think?
I actually liked your first take of the first sentence better than your read after that when you restarted. Were coming across to me. Your second take just went all out drama again.
Gotcha. Yeah, I did a second take because I had a little dry place in my throat and I started to squeak.
And yeah, that would have been for us to ask you to do something
I
like
feel
that.
with the squeaks.
So
Feel that all the time.
So it would have been like, okay, you're gonna need to do another take on that anyway, because suddenly you're sounding like Shaggy, and you don't need to sound like Shaggy.
Well,
Morning,
like Zoid
man.
Snake.
Like,
Snake. I can't
The
even.
real life
Like
action of
Scoob.
True
Why
TV
do you
has been
sound
known
like
to have. Yeah, I've done that
But again,
myself.
I think I'm gonna squeak.
But yeah, I think that level of just like hamming up the drama a little bit more. I don't know if that's what you were trying to do, but it certainly came off that way to me.
I literally was not trying to go complete for the Joe Friday thing, but I have the music bum ba bum bum ba bum ba bum going through my head while I was reading this.
Yeah.
Now
I was hearing a reverb throughout your read. And
Okay. Any disagreements? Does anybody feel that Nathan needs to do something different?
I just want to say I liked your second take. I felt like it felt really good. And then I just noticed a little when I missed your first read, unfortunately, but I heard that maybe you were told to maybe slow down a little bit. And I was going to say between addict and insist, I felt like there wasn't very much pause, but overall, I really liked your read.
Yeah. And if anything, I will have everybody under the age of 50 looking for Dragnet. The original
that you
stuff,
gave
not
the
the Dan
name of the
Aykroyd
show.
thing.
Yeah, I
Okay.
like the energy of the second read, and I think there is with documentary narration that there can be some sizzle that happens. That's what draws the audience in, and I heard your sizzle, so I did like that.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Well, if everybody else loves your drama, then ignore me because it works.
I'm sorry,
I'm a
Leonard.
comedian. It's
The
hard for
majority
me to
has
do
spoken.
drama.
All right. Well, if everybody but Leonard's satisfied, I guess we're moving on, aren't we? Okay. I am now up on the chopping block. Warning. The real life action of True TV. Warning. The real life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. And his insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
I would just like to say,
Excuse me.
and I think this is just kind of funny given the script, but you sound like the narrator voice in like True Crime, like stuff in like True TV. You sound like the narrator in True TV, which is why this is like, wait.
Michael's
like-
big advantage, he's done reality TV.
Shooting. No.
Oh, he has
Yeah.
voice reality TV. That's it. That's a thing. So it's like, yeah, he just tapped right into that, and I could tell he was tapping into that.
I
Yeah.
would say it fit you like a glove. It's just like, yeah, that's the read. That's the voice print.
Hey, big brother, if you're coming back and you're looking for a new voice guy, there you go, Michael Montez.
Well, since I know you want a technical note,
Please.
actually not so much technical. It is a tone thing for me. It came across a touch heavy-handed for me.
Okay.
And then I would just like to add maybe a little bit more emphasis on physical and emotional. And then I liked your second sentence, thought that was great. And then on the fourth one, I would like to hear a little bit more emphasis on insistence.
Insistence. Okay. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salita, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner, and his insistence on picture-in-picture in the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual. So did I hit the notes?
You did, yeah.
Okay.
I like that take.
Yeah, definitely a good take.
Did I pass the Leonard test?
You passed the Leonard test.
Yes.
I would like to throw in an observation / suggestion / make of it what you will.
Okay.
And this is not for Michael, it's for everybody. On those last two lines, the because, I would be seriously tempted to go, so watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual. Move the because to the second line.
Okay. That's a thing to do. I think, again, that's one of those things that would probably work with certain actors over others, but it's a good thing to think about for sure.
Yeah, I was reminded of that because some
You were
VO
reminded of
teacher
that
in the
because-
past, some VO teacher in the past mentioned that when you have lists like that, where you have the colon, I can't think of the exact wording, but the principle is the same.
Okay. Well, certainly something to think about. All right. Well, if everybody's happy, we'll go ahead and move on. Vincent, you're up.
Warning. Warning. The real-life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salita, a self-proclaimed North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salita, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. His insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effects is actual.
All right. Vincent, you're moving real fast through that script. You really need to slow that down. Really need to slow it down.
Yeah. If you've ever seen Dragnet, and like I would keep referencing Joe Friday, something like that. Just slow, methodical, and take your time with it. You don't have a time limit on that.
Okay.
Yeah, look, in this script, everything that you say matters. So don't just blast right through it. Again, you need to start off strong. Warning. People need to hear that. And then you need to make sure that the story you're telling is important. Slow it down a little bit. Make sure we can hear it.
All right.
Anything else?
I like
I
the
was just
flat
gonna say,
tone.
I was just gonna say what Michael and Nathan were talking about is just slow it down. Um, kind of leads into how I like to practice my music. If I think I'm playing it slow enough, practice it even slow.
All right.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready, give us another read.
Warning. The real life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr.
Slow down
Scott
even more. Yeah, just start over. Slow down even more, significantly.
Can you think in terms, and we're going to throw more music out here. Can you think in terms of ballad? Because what I'm hearing is fast and staccato. And if you could just kind of smooth it out, almost maybe even exaggerate it, because I think your rhythm is so fast that you might need to go in the opposite direction, or what you think is too slow to kind of get you into the right pace.
All right. Warning. The real life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. His insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
You're still moving real quick through it. Your pace didn't really change much, if anything at all. In fact, I really didn't hear it change at all.
I think it was better in the beginning, for like the first two lines, but then once you got to like this can affect his bedside manner, that's when you really started speeding back up. I don't know how effective this might be, but something that occurred to me while you were reading that was maybe if you tried reading it with a metronome, so like warning, the real life action of True TV, something like that, can maybe not for an actual read, but for helping you to be able to better hear the line in your head so you know what's coming next. It doesn't work with a cold read, obviously, because you've never seen it. But for something like this, where you're reading it for the second, third, or even fourth time, knowing like exactly what's coming next without having to actually like look for it in the script. I could definitely see how that might be useful.
And Vincent, can you try this as an exercise? It's not right for the copy, but just as an exercise to see if we can get your pace to slow down. Can you say this to a young child? So the child has to understand you. So you need to say it in such a way that they will understand what you're saying. Think maybe like a 5 to 7 year old, a young child.
Okay. All right. Give it another shot. All right now. Warning. The real life action of True TV has been known to have both physical and emotional effects on its viewers. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Dr. Scott Salida, a self-proclaimed True TV addict, insists on watching True TV in his patient's room. This can affect his bedside manner. His insistence on picture-in-picture on the monitors in the operating room has led to some unfortunate mishaps. So watch True TV with caution, because when the stories are real, the effect is actual.
Yeah. I would say I really like that take. Something I noticed is whenever you stumble, when you're stumbling is because you're going a little bit too fast, and then you would speed up right after, and then you would slow back down, I think, when you realized what was happening. Overall, I really liked it. I feel like for this read, you would have to go so slow that you're uncomfortable with how slow you're going. But overall, without that in consideration, I liked what you did with the read.
Thank you.
I would second Will's suggestion earlier of practicing with a metronome, because I think that really would be helpful for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And overall, though, this read was a big improvement, mainly because you did slow down.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Leonard.
You know, can I just say maybe instead of a metronome, that's a good idea. Put on a really slow song. So it's the same idea, but my fear with the metronome is that you may start to get robotic and you may start to get too much into your head. But if you just can put on like a really slow song and that's the pace you need to stick with, that maybe that could help. Yeah.
I like that idea too.
Yeah, I agree too. That would definitely work a lot better than the metronome for the reason you mentioned. You're gonna sound you run the risk of sounding robotic, whereas with the song, I can see how you might sound robotic with a song too, but it would be a lot harder because I mean, with both of them, you're trying to fit your sound into something else. So
Yeah, it keeps you on a consistent rhythm, and there's something to be said for that.
But
yeah, it's
whatever
definitely
whatever
it's
you did
definitely
this time,
good.
Vincent, to keep your tone even, this is the most controlled read you've had in a very long time with us. Like you really were able to pace this read out very well. And that has been something that I know we've talked to you about quite a bit in the past. But this actually showed that you do have that skill. I don't know if you've been practicing it on your own. If you have, it's paying off. But that is definitely something that I would say has really been working out for you now. You're this, like I said, is the most paced and controlled tone that I've heard from you in ever since you started joining us.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, well, I think that was a great read. Let's go ahead and see if Mateo is open. Mateo, did you happen to get it fixed up or anything? You there?
I am way too emotionally scarred to try.
Well, we can hear you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There's good news. We can hear you.
We can hear you, and I understand what you're going through, brother.
All right.
I really do.
All right. Well, then we'll go ahead and wrap up the broadcasted portion of the mic check. That doesn't mean it's over. We can still hang out and talk afterwards. But anyway, thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.